I mean, you want to build up thousands and thousands, because when they release an ultra rare that you need 3 copies of, you're going to need at least 300, maybe 350,000. Anyhow. So, I fucking love it. This was versus my Tia discard, which is also its own form of cancer. But you have got to see this interaction, because I loathe Tia discard with a passion. So the temptation to BM was very real. Worst part is if I had gone second, I would have lost. She would have one turn KO'd me before I got to play anything. I think this card is a great answer to Tia Burn, to be honest with you. She drops Goblin Thief. She's just going through the rotation here. Like, her only plan is to burn me out. Those Reconstructors would have been hitting for 1,400 each if she had gotten her way. Which in turn means I would have died on Burning Land when it started up. So I loathe these decks so much, and it was just such a pleasure to do this. It was such a pleasure. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's absolutely fuckdiculous. Your turn. So that's the discard deck. It's coming along really well. It's coming along real good. Like, it's pretty downright fucking broken sometimes, but it's inconsistent in its draws, but I love it. Oh, my turn. Discard 14. Your turn. And I guess we're gonna go through the rest together, right? Tia is always rude, no matter who she plays. I need to probably run that ability with Standby rather than Last Gamble, but it is what it is. So I don't remember these, so I'm going to be playing out, but the rest of them should be with luck on your side, which has been carrying me really strongly. Let's see. Why did I save this, I wonder? Oh, Clown Control. What a pain in the ass. Clown Control could be really tough to deal with, but there's just so many options available. The biggest thing with Clown Control is to not let it sit and build, because it's a big synergy-oriented deck. So, like, Clown Control specifically wants you to sit back and let it, you know, build its options up. I know that for sure. I wanted to see if he'd go in here. Oh, what do I have face down right now? I'm dumb. Mirror Wall? Yeah, so my hope was that he would go in with that. And unfortunately, I have to double here, I think, if this is what I think it is, yeah. So I have to double down to kind of push them out, because I need to take 2,000 at the start of my turn. But it's good, because having him in defense mode means that when he goes to, like, Desert Sunlight, he won't be able to auto-kill what I lay, which is a big deal as well. Putting the Clown in defense mode yourself can be, like, a big advantage in this matchup. So, Mirror Wall kicks in. Bless it. I was running Magic Drain back then. I disagreed with that option, but there you have it. Like, I replaced it with Rising Energy, and I've gotten notoriously better results. And this is kind of what you want to see, honestly. You just want to make sure there's no clown. That's all. If you're not dealing with clown, you have no worries, no problems, you know? And I think that that's really valuable. No, no, no. It's, Cyber Fiend. So he goes to fucking turn his rabbit. And it turns out Magic Drain comes in handy here. So I cancel his turn. The rabbit kills nothing. Now it's vulnerable here on out. I'm basically not worried about anything he can throw my way. He does go for a Desert Sunlight, which is good. It does give him something. But he's used 2 of his back row, and he's just in a lot of trouble now. Like, this is absolutely Sphere Karibo territory. Oh, what am I saying? Yeah. Sorry, I Sphere Karibo after he turns me on my side. My bad. People always ask me, why are the bulls in here? Why not Amazon? I think that the Amazon is too reliant. They have to have a hand. They have to have creatures in that hand. If you're wrong, you're wrong. It's on. They control when the Amazon kicks off. The bulls don't provide control, and I like that. That's why I tend to lead them into this deck. The bulls strip control and options away from your opponent. They're about equivalent, though, so it's really a matter of preference. And basically, once enemy controller is in hand here, the game is over. I actually... Yeah. Like, I actually could have just kept it in hand right there. No, I couldn't have. But, I couldn't have turned KO'd there, but I really wish I had. Yes, the effect clock is a really big deal, especially with the interdimensionals that are popping around. Because, like, this deck does not have to attack you to win, which is important. That's important, because this is a defensive meta. The meta is defensive, so when you have a card that prevents the need to actually go in to take the set, that's useful. And that's the reason I give the bull the edge over the Amazon, that and the fact that I fucking love that bull. I really love him. He's super cool. Alright. So this deck has been having a super positive matchup on Harpies, the luck on your side. I don't know why or if it's just raw luck, but I am about 10-2 right now. 8-2, 9-2, something like that right now on Harpies. Yeah, seeing their hand definitely does help Pharaoh, and you're right, that's very smart and efficient. Like I said, it totally does come down to preference. Amazons are good enough to run. I think Bulls are good enough to run too. It's just my personal preference. Seeing their hand, even getting information is great. What pisses me off is when they attack me with no hand, because then you're not allowed to proc the effect. That I hate. So, I love Electro in this deck as a tech card. I think he's amazing. He just locks shit down that he has no business locking. And he just creates big, big fucking problems. The best thing I like about him right now is this play right here forces her to choose between Harpies or Beater. And that's really handy. So when she goes Harpies here, the Harpy is not going to be able to actually beat out my attack, so I get to continue to lock. So that's the advantage there, is I'm choosing lock over that. Now, I recognize that it's probably an order to charge, because you don't order to charge. You don't run that Harpy unless you're running order to charge. But I turn her sideways just in case I'm worried about anything. Egotist comes into play, and that's really scary too. It's all, it's all really scary. Oh, I'm sorry, no, Egotist sets in another one. And that would be great, except that now he's burnt both of his Harpies. And he kills his own order to charge. Does he use it? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's logical to me. So he just used a whole lot of cards to have one 1500 Harpy and a set down. It's not that it's bad by any stretch. Like, he's still ahead in tempo, but I am A-okay with this, because when I see that he has a 1500 on the board, I'm pretty cozy with that. It's alright. Mirror Wall really creates a lot of good scenarios, too. And since he's already pulled out 2 Harpies, it's unlikely that he has a third one ready to go. These decks rarely run more than 2 or 3 Harpies. So, I'm just going to target Hunting Grounds. Oh my god, I got it. Oh my god, that's so gross. I don't want to go in because I'm worried about Mirror Wall. Order to charge is fine. Anything that she throws at me at this point, I'm going to have a lot of control over. She's at 3 cards to my 4, basically. There's nothing she's going to summon that I'm worried about here. So, getting... The game really relies on whether or not I get rid of Hunting Grounds, but when I do, it usually goes in my favor. So I see it's a 1600, so now I don't even have to use Mirror Wall, and my back row is safe for the rest of the game. Which is huge, 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 huge. Every one of those Twin Blasts has a 25% chance, and if they proc me down, I have a 100% chance to get rid of it. And once that happens, I win. So all of that is something to keep in mind. And, like, that's something that's really big in this matchup. That leads me to believe that it's either my favor or even. It definitely, like, with the wrong hand, I can definitely lose out. But I think it's great. So now that they have one card in hand and one card in back row, and they can't touch my back row anymore, and I have an 100% kill ratio on Twin Dragon, that's it. Like, what else are they going to do? 1600 is the strongest beater in their deck, most likely. So I'm just going to get rid of whatever's in the back. I hope it's not Wild Tornado, essentially. Yeah, it's not. It's Mirror Wall like I thought it was. Because that's how he was playing. And then I just go in. And now he's down to a 1 card versus my 5. And I have all kinds of control available, and I'm only getting stronger. Like, the longer this game goes on, the more advantaged I am. So, that's basically how this deck likes to deal with Harpies. The general philosophy is a 25% chance to kill Hunting Grounds is still better than no chance. You don't, unless you have Sphere Karibo in hand, you really want to take your shots. And especially if you have 2. Just do whatever you can. If you get rid of Hunting Grounds, turn 1, it's over. It's game. So I go in light there, and I make sure that he doesn't Sphere Karibo, because he probably has one in hand. So I make sure in the damage step to activate Rising Energy to sneak under any potential Sphere Karibo. Yes, luck on your side is very good if you get there. If you get there. The key is finding, like, means in which you manipulate your opponent into pushing you there, because smart opponents know, and they play around it. But Sphere Karibos, enemy controllers, yes, getting there is the tough part. Sphere Karibos, Mirror Walls, and I once Rising Energied my opponent's attacking creature just to push him over my defense. Like, just to take 3,000. The Rising Energy is a great addition to this deck, and I really do swear by it. Wow. The last 3 are literally like just me fighting fucking Herpes. Jesus Christ. Herpes is everywhere, though. So, because my deck has a positive matchup on Herpes, I have a good feeling that I might make King of Games, this season. Because Herpes is fucking everywhere, man. Sorry, it's Mai's Herpes hunting ground. Just, it's everywhere. You get it? Alright, never mind. So I have mixed feelings on this kind of an opening hand. It's not great. No, I'm not. I'm intentionally saying the word herpes, as in the STD. That's I'm intentionally saying herpes, yeah. When I have 2 Time Wizards, I'm just not afraid to go in with it, because it's pretty funny. And it can really fuck over plans for people. It didn't, though. I like taking gambles like that all the time, which is maybe a bad idea, because I know his deck runs 1900 beaters. I dropped the Mirror Wall to bait out a Harpy, because if he comes in with Harpy, he's not going to hit 3,800, and if he comes in with Duck, I'm going to be able to mitigate his damage. See what I mean? So by putting the Mirror Wall there, it was actually a win-win bait situation, because no matter what, I'm looking at, I'm looking at getting my life dropped to a reasonable point, because most people think that your last gamble. They tend to go in. So, like, that's why I dropped the Mirror Wall there, was to bait out a Harpy, and to make sure that I didn't bait out something more dangerous. But he's smart. He plays around it. I just couldn't risk dying to a second Duck, basically. Now, sometimes you get cornered. In this deck, you have to take fucking coin flip gambles. And, like, that just straight up happens, man. This, by the way, is the biggest my deck has ever made a fucking comeback ever. Ever. Like, I should be so fucking done right now. I love this replay. This is among my favorites, by far. Because I should be... I should have lost this game. I should have lost this game 1,000,000 times over. Look at all this! Look at all this shit I gave him! And yet... And yet... This is the biggest comeback I've ever had. Flatly. I was hoping that it would burn it. I knew I needed Cyber... I knew I needed Mega Cyber to burn the order to charge. That was definitely a concern of mine. And so I make the switch play, which I love this play. And I force him out. Make him trade. How do I win, right? Because, like, this is the most ridiculous comeback I've ever had. Like, I'm still at huge disadvantage here. He does, I believe, eventually activate it out of frustration. Heart of the cards, motherfucker. So I think at 100, he felt secure enough to go in. He probably has an order to charge back there. I forget at this point. But he's got a full back row and a fucking duck on top of that. Fuck a duck. No, he doesn't. Okay, so yeah, this guy is still playing around me. And, like, that deserves to be noted. Right? Perfect. Good draw, good draw. So I'm gonna... Because I can survive anything he throws my way, I'm definitely gonna take a free pot shot. I got him. I got the duck. No, he's supposed to respect it. Like, what he's doing is he's playing it right. But I got a lucky coin flip there. Then again, after like 3 unlucky coin flips, I'll take it, man. So I'm sitting here like, what's he gonna do? And I was like, if he has enemy controller, it's over, for sure. That's why I didn't use Rising Energy, because if he wanted to trade creatures, I did not want to give him a 3,200 under any condition, basically. I fucking love the Bull. I really do. He's the best. The Bull just provokes and provokes and provokes. Like, the Bull makes you see red, and I fucking love what he does, mechanically, for that. Man, I am still not at advantage here, to be honest with you. He pulled every fucking Harpy out of this deck. Fuck me, man. But, for some reason, he goes Wild Tornado... And that makes all the difference here. So I'm gonna mirror wall the fuck out of that fight. And guess what? That puts him to 1,000 life exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about fighting to your last fucking breath. Boop! Got it. Why is the Bull in your deck? Because he's fucking awesome. I love you, Bull. So that is... that is some ridiculous bullshit. That particular match is one of my favorite replays by a lot. It's so good. So good. And then this was my most recent replay, which is just very knockdown, drag out. Like I said, I have great matchup versus Harpies. I always seem to find a way. At least 70% of the time. I win 100% of the time. Oh, there you go. Yeah. And he's right, by the way. This is another knockdown, drag out one. Fucking love Electro. He just forces options, man. Although I'm an idiot because I forgot to attack here. I made a huge misplay. Like, I'm so mad at myself. That's 1,600 free damage I just left on the table. This whole game could have been a lot easier if I had just gone in. But, there goes the Harpy Lady play. That's why I like Electro with the backdrop, because it forces him to choose, in most cases, with either a 1,500 or, he has to determine if he wants to win, lock, or what. And it lets me just kind of keep his board steady, clear, gone. As always, I do promote pushing for a 25% chance to kill Hunting Ground, because you're going to need your spells early as possible, if possible. Didn't get it, it's okay. There will be more shots, there's 2 more in the deck, and a lot of draw mechanics. He's all locked up at this point, so I've just got free damage now. Karibo, good, good. Just glad to have it gone, to be honest. And so I'm trying to give him the same choice twice, and I really want him to... I want him to choose between coming in with a beater and coming in with a harpy. Because if he comes in with a harpy, he's giving me a free 1-1 for card advantage and trade. So that's kind of my best bet at this moment. I forget what he comes in with here. Yeah, Eagle. So I see that he's a... Fuck. I mean, the fact that he's running Relinquished, which gross. Ugh, Relink Harpies? Ugh, gross. This makes life very hard. So we're gonna try and promote a prevention of a take here. Don't think it's gonna work, but this is kind of the best I can work with given my circumstances. Because I can't rely on enemy controller for more turns anyhow, so getting any use out of my card at all is good. So baiting the trade there is advantageous, even if it's not foolproof. Because now I get to go in, have some fun with it. So we force him out with the interdimensional gate, which is just fine. Like, no problem. I hurt myself, and I kind of like it. I know he won't come back in with a 0 strength, so there you have it. He gets an auto cancel on that, but it's fine. I trade it 1-for-1 on the Harpy, keep her from going in. And he's pretty low here, so yeah. He decides to kill his own Dimension Gate, which was a really smart play. That caught me off guard. I was like, okay, yeah, he's going to target my fucking whatever. So that was smart. That surprised me. But 1,200 is 1,200. It's not the end of the world. So I am kind of backed into a corner here, and I have to gamble again. Which is how it works. But I know that if I clear his board, the things he's going to lay are going to put me under 1,000 if he hits me. And I have Cup of Ace in hand, so it's my best hope. So I'm just swinging for it, and I hit it. It was a 50-50 for my game, but it's better to take that 50-50 than just give up. So I push in. And I don't think he has anything weaker than... He'd have to do what? 5, 8, 13? It would have to be a 1,300 or weaker card to avoid proccing my attack. So he has choices here. He can either stay in or not, but I know whatever he summons is going to be vulnerable. So I'm definitely worried about the relink at this juncture, but it's like, if he swings in here, I'm in a great position. 700 life with a Cup of Ace in hand, I'm going to have more steam than he is. And these are pretty much recorded in a row. I'm on a 9-win streak right now, up to plat. So I'm really happy with like the progress the deck's made and where it's been going. And yeah, you have to get bullshit lucky sometimes. The thing is, you can, and that's the important part too. Never tell yourself you can't get lucky. So the reason I did this was I did not want him to have the option to relinquish take. And I think that he's pretty low on cards at this point. I've killed so many creatures. I am partial, like, at this point, I'm kind of at his mercy here. But if he takes, if he does drop a relinquished, then I am not going to die if he takes my Time Wizard. But he can't drop a relinquished. Right? I know! I know! It makes me so butt mad. I'm so butt mad. But anyhow, yeah, one misplay early on cost me big. But I'm sitting here trying to think of a way to survive, and I'm like, oh shit, he has all of the cards in his hand. The only thing he needs is a creature to lay, and that's why it's so fucking important right now that I actually deal with every creature that comes down. Because his Karibo's already spent, so he has no free summon. I need to prevent him by any means possible from summoning Relinquished, and the only way I'm going to do that is by targeting every creature he owns. He's already gone through, God, how many creatures are... He's got 7 fucking things in his graveyard. So 5 or 6 creatures already. Odds are pretty low that he'll have another one ready to go at this juncture. And at this point, it's all up to fate. I just have to hope that he doesn't have shit left. When I see him turn me to defense mode, though, I'm pretty happy about that. For sure. It's what I wanted to see. Because... I'm going to win or I'm going to lose next turn, no matter what I do. And I already know that he had something up his sleeve. Like, he didn't just lay nothing. I'm glad I targeted what I needed to target. It just comes down to his draw here. Flatly. That's his draw. So, test the waters a bit. The bull, the bull reassures me pretty consistently. Sphere Karibo guarantees that I'm probably gonna... Like, the Sphere Karibo pretty much seals it. And I believe that's game. Thankfully. That one was so knockdown, drag out. Alright. So those are the replays I wanted to upload. Just another good demonstration of luck on your side. And very solid. Very, very solid. So, I'm a big fan of this deck. It finds ways to win that it shouldn't. When you win, people go, that was bullshit. And they're right. But it's not more bullshit than Harpies, Tia Burn, Demotion. So, it is what it is. Alright. Let's get some music kicking.